Bonjour les amis, encore ici Kirby Jambon avec une autre leçon dans le français louisianais. Back again with another lesson in Louisiana French. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Last time we were together, we discussed two verbs, le verbe aller and le verbe partir. The verb to go, aller, the verb to leave, partir, and different expressions using that. We use an old Louisiana French song, an old Cajun song, Mon bon vieux mari, jusque t'es parti. You know, my good old husband, where are you off to, where are you headed, to describe that song. We talked about some expressions with aller and partir. So if you didn't catch that lesson, go back to the my Facebook page. Oh, I'm sorry, my YouTube channel, and check out the lesson for the verb aller and the verb partir. Today we're going to use the verb aller in what's the future tense. The future tense. The way we say future in Louisiana French is l'avenir. L'avenir comes from the two words a and venir, which means to come. L'avenir. And we use the verb aller in the future tense, and you can use it pretty much with every verb in Louisiana French. And you can use it in international French as well. Slightly different pronunciations in Louisiana French, a little different conjugations, but you can use it international as well. Now, just to make a point of reference, there is another future tense. It's referred to as, this is called, the one I'm teaching you is sometimes called the futur proche, and the other one's called the futur simple. The close future and the simple future. Okay, you can use this one in all verbs, and we use these with the majority of verbs in Louisiana French. However, we do use the other form, the futur simple, which you'll learn at a little more advanced lesson. We'll use that with certain verbs. Internationally, you can use it with both verbs. Okay, and so I'll teach you those the way we do the basic future tense, and it's the way we have to use the verb aller through that. And again, I mentioned the word Facebook a while earlier. If you want to follow along with the documents, don't forget, Facebook message me, and I will add you to the Louisiana French Lessons chat group, and the documents are attached there. We're toward the end of the second set of documents that are in there. Okay? Ça va? C'est bon. All right. So let's review the verb aller. Okay? The verb aller, which is to go. And the thing you're going to hear most often with the verb aller is the sound va. For example, je vais, I go, I'm going. Tu vas, you go, you are going, the singular you. Il va, he goes, he is going. Elle va, she goes, she's going. Okay. On va, we go, we are going. Vous autres va, the plural you, the y'all. Okay, y'all go, y'all going. And then the one that's a little different that you hear sometimes, not as often these days, but you still hear it. Vous allez, which is which is called the vous de politesse, the respectful vous that we use for pretty much older persons. When we reach someone who is a certain age, you'd say vous allez, which means you go, all right, or you are going. Vous allez. And then we have we go. I don't know if I said that or not. We go, on va, we go. And then for they go, you have a couple of different ways, but you might hear eux va, eux autres va, ça va. All of those can mean they go or they're going. You may hear ils vont, instead of the va, you hear the vont, which can also mean they go or they're going. Okay, and basically the way you make the future tense is you use that form of the verb, and then you add the infinitive form of the verb for whatever is going to be in the future tense. Okay, again, the infinitive form is the form that has the understanding of the word to is in it. In English, we have to add the word to. Like you said, I would say, I am going to eat. You need the to eat. You have to put the to there. In French, it's a different form, to eat. If I said, I eat, je mange, to eat is manger. Okay? So let's review a couple of verbs we're going to use right now. Manger, which is to eat. Okay? Danser, to dance. Finir, to finish. Courir, to run. Met, to put. Pouvoir, or often pronounced pouvoir, to be able to. Boire, to drink. Faire, to do or to make. Venir, or venir, to come. And connaître, to know. These are found on this page. It's called L'espoir de l'avenir, the hope of the future, and it's page 9 in the deuxième paquet, in the second packet. H9. So let's try pronouncing these right now, okay? All right? All right? Je vais manger. Je vais manger, which means I will eat. I translate it as I will eat because even though the verb aller is not the verb will, we don't have a verb will in French. We use the form of the verb aller. And if you think about it, I will go or I am going is the same thing. You know, I will eat or I'm going to eat, pretty much the same thing. And that's what we use in the future tense in French. So when I translate it as will, please note that it's also go or going. Got it? C'est bon? All right. Tu vas danser. You will dance. Il va finir. He will finish. Elle va courir. She will run, or she's going to run. On va mettre. We will put, or we're going to put. Interesting thing about the verb met. We haven't really studied that verb before. Met looks like mettre. We don't pronounce the R-E. But met's an interesting verb in Louisiana French, and the fact that, and in French in general. In English, in the future, in the past, in the present, we always say just the sound. You always hear the sound put. And in French, you're going to hear three different sounds. In the present tense, mets, je mets, I put. In the past tense, j'ai mis, me, me. And in the future, je vais mettre. So me, met, and me are all to put. Pouvoir, try that. Pouvoir, right. Vous allez pouvoir. Vous allez pouvoir. You will be able to, speaking to in the sign of respect. Pouvoir ou pouvoir. Vous autres va boire, try that. Boire. Vous autres va boire. You're all going to drink, okay? Eux va faire. Eux va faire. They will do, they will make. You can also say eux autres va faire ou ça va faire, okay? Ça va venir. Ça va venir, ça veut dire que that's going to happen, that will come, that will come, it will come, they will come, all right, ça va venir. Ils vont connaître, all right, they will know, they're gonna know. Or ça va connaître, or eux autres va connaître, or eux va connaître. Or you might use a different form of the verb to know, which is savoir. Savoir, often pronounced savoir. Well, eux va savoir, eux autres va savoir, okay. Now, we're going to stop right there for a minute. I always like to put a little, when I think of something, I want to tell you before I forget. Little thing about the sound, voir, okay? When we have a VW, like in voir, pouvoir, all right, savoir, many times the V we don't pronounce. It becomes just voir. So pouvoir, to be able to, becomes pouvoir. Savoir, to know, becomes savoir. And then voir, to see, becomes voir. Now, we have an expression in Louisiana French, which we use the verb voir not only when it means to see. For example, like if I say viens voir. Viens voir could mean I have something for you to see, but it does not. It could just mean that I want you to come here, okay? The voir is simply like a polite term. It's like almost like saying s'il vous plaît or please. It's just like a politeness, okay? Viens voir. You can say regarde voir, look there, which means it's kind of like a look see, okay? Now, the interesting thing is in what we might call Cajun or Creole Louisiana English, we have an expression that's comme si. We say comme si. And comme si does not mean means to have anything for you to see. Comme si simply means to come here. And it comes from kind of that idea of translating that kind of word for word rather than the sense of the expression. We translated it word for word rather than the meaning of the expression. I remember one time my dad was talking about a fella he worked with who came down from North Louisiana. And my dad said, told me to come see. And he goes, and the fella asked, well, what do you have for him to see? And my dad says, nothing, I just wanted to come here. Well, why didn't you just say come here? I said, why did you say come see? He said, well, it's just what we say. Well, it's what we say is because we say it in French. And again, it's a translation of the words rather than the sense of the words. To give you a good idea, for example, why it doesn't necessarily mean to see, in French we also say things like écoute voir. Écoute voir. Écoute voir. That would mean listen, see. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense if you translate it word for word in English. So when you hear the people say come see in French, in English, it's because the voir, to see in French, is used more than just to see. It's used as a kind of polite expression. Okay? Uses a kind of polite expression. Another word you would hear is the word donc. Donc. Which can be pronounced donc in international French and other times. Donc. Like, so you can say like, dire, which would mean say it, tell me, please. It's not saying say si or tell si. You know, it's like say si doesn't mean that dis what. But you can also say dis donc, which is like donc is be translated sometimes as thus. So it doesn't necessarily mean thus or to see in the phrase. It's just a polite way of using it. Okay? Back to the lesson. Okay. Now, let's do a little practice with this. Okay? Listen to this phrase. Okay? Si tu cherches, tu vas blank, ça t'as perdu. Si tu cherches, tu vas blank, ça t'as perdu. All right? Everybody got the meaning of it? Si tu cherches, if tu cherches, chercher, look. Yeah. If you look for, tu vas, you will, you're going to, blank, ça t'as perdu, that which you lost. Perdu is lost. So si tu cherches, if you look for, you're going to blank that which you lost. And of course, we want the verb to find, right? You're going to find that which you lost, and that word is trouver, trouver. So let's try that. Si tu cherches, tu vas trouver ça que t'as perdu. Si tu cherches, tu vas trouver ça que t'as perdu. You can pronounce that cherche or cherche. In Louisiana French, you might hear both sounds, okay? Perdu. All right? Let's try the next one, all right? Vous êtes blank, jamais blank, les menteries que Moreau m'a conté. Vous êtes blank, jamais blank, les menteries que Moreau m'a conté. All right? Y'all got that? Vous êtes, which is y'all, blank, jamais blank. Now, jamais, if you remember, was the word for never. All right, and I give you both parts of the future tense. So you should know the first part, which is almost always what? Va, right? Vous êtes va jamais blank les menteries que Moreau m'a conté. Conté we did, which means to tell. Moreau was actually the name of my grandfather. His name was Morrison, but he était connu comme Moreau. Everybody called him Moreau. And he has that word menterie. Try that. Menterie. Des menteries. Menteries are lies. Yes, lies. Untruths. Yes. Stories that we tell. Okay. So, vous êtes va jamais, y'all will never blank les menteries que Moreau m'a conté, the lies that Moreau told me. What are you never going to do with them? You're never going to croire. Croire. Let's say that. Croire. Yes. Croire is to believe. C-R-O-I-R-E. And again, that war sound keeps coming back. Croire. So you're never going to believe the lies that Moreau told me. Vous êtes va jamais croire les menteries que Moreau m'a conté. And my grandfather loved to tell stories for fun, you know, tell these lies and stories. One time I remember he had a fellow kind of convinced that we were I think we had on était après bouillir des écrevisses et des chevrettes. We were boiling some shrimp and some crabs, and he had this fellow from Mississippi. He was convincing him that he was showing them how he could tell les mâles et des femelles, the male and the female crawfish and shrimp by looking outside the shell. You know, he said, I said le mâle, I said le male, which you can actually with the crawfish, you know. And then he was trying to tell them how you could tell once they're peeled and you're just looking at the flesh meat inside, which you can't, of course. And then he had this guy fooling him. He said not that he had this guy convinced that he was able to do that. You know, he says, you know, that he could tell which shrimp or crawfish were male or female after they were peeled. He loved those stories like that. I miss my grandfather, mon défunt Moreau, Papa Moreau. Il était quelque chose. He was something else. All right, so I digress. So hopefully you can practice some of these. Practice the verb aller in the future. Parce it is the future tense. Practice these for next time. Use them with some different verbs. You can go back in the original packet. You can use some of the verbs. There are 2 pages of verbs that we did in the original packet. One with a whole list of verbs all ending with ER having the A sound, and then a shorter list when we did je veux, tu veux, and all that. And you can see the shorter list there with some other verbs that don't end with the ER. And you can try some of those with that as well. Okay, it's good. Now, before we leave, one more thing about menterie. All right, let's talk about menterie. Menterie is a Louisiana French word for lies. Okay, internationally, you may find more often the word mensonge, which is spelled M-E-N-S-O-N-G-E. So menterie and mensonge. Now, a little something. Typically, Louisiana French will say menterie. Some folks might know mensonge as well, but most folks say menterie. I do remember one time I was in Canada. I was in la province de Québec, dans la ville de Québec. I was in Quebec City in Quebec in Canada. And I was taking a tour, a visite guidée, a guided tour of le Château Frontenac, which is the the big hotel in the middle of this Quebec City, which kind of looks like a castle. And I was getting a tour of this, and the tour guide was wonderful. He was just so informative, and he was funny. And at one point, he stopped us and he said, "Okay," he says, "Mes amis, en français, est-ce qu'on dit des menteries ou des mensonges?" He says, "Okay, in French, do we say menteries for lies, or do we say des mensonges, lies? Do we say lies, lies?" So there are two different ways. And of course, there was a people from France there, a group from France, and the fellow from France, "Oh, mais nous autres, on dit des mensonges, we say, nous disons des mensonges, we say des mensonges, very correct. Of course they do. That's what they say, des mensonges, I'm sorry, I'm just having fun with an accent. Might have done it well, but he said des mensonges, okay? And to my good friends in France, I'm right behind him. I said, "Well, mais dans la Louisiane, on dit des menteries," And so I said, "No, in Louisiana, we say menteries." So he says, and so the little guy stops and, "Non, non, 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 non. Vous avez tort. Vous n'avez pas raison." Vous avez tort means y'all are wrong. You don't have, you're not correct. Vous avez pas raison. He says, "En français, on dit la vérité." He said, "In French, we tell the truth." We don't tell des menteries ni des mensonges. We don't tell lies. We tell the truth. Et ça, c'est une vraie histoire. Ça, c'est la vérité. That is the truth. That's a true story. I will always tell you a true story. I may embroider them a little bit for your entertainment, but I will always tell you a true story. OK. Ça, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. On va se parler plus dans une autre leçon plus tard. We'll talk more a little bit later in another lesson. OK? Soignez-vous autres, soignez les autres. Et take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Et on va se voir à la prochaine. Bye bye.